Hi everyone, Kermode here, back with another video. In this video, I want to show you how you can add tone into sounds that don't have tone or have very little tone where you want to get more tone out of it. Some examples of situations you might want to do something like that could be a snare or a clap that just isn't tonal enough, or it could be something totally different where you're trying to make like a pad or a lead out of a completely unrelated sample and you need to put some tone into it. This is going to be a very quick and simple video, but let's check it out. I have this nice noisy clap sample. It's pretty noisy. I wouldn't say it's got much obvious tone. But what we can do to add tone into this is simply add a really high, tight, resonant EQ. Notice how if we go high enough, we can actually pretty much create tone out of any part of the sound. And you've probably done this before yourself, just moving a resonant EQ through a sound. Now notice when it's really high, it actually rings out past the length of the original sample. See how that sine wave rang out all the way to here? If you're going for that, you can just keep stacking resonant EQs. If we were to create two more, for example. Obviously we don't want to do that, and apologies for the ear blood. But I just kind of want to show you how far you can take this. You could push things to just ring out almost infinitely and create like 808s out of samples. But this can be useful if you, for example, automated this gain to match the clap's movement a little more. Now, kind of one of the main reasons I wanted to show you this is it goes beyond just drums or percussive sounds. It can be used to create really interesting leads. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say, for example, like a weird synthetic texture like this. There's some tone in there, but not a ton. Not like what I'm trying to get at here. So let's say, for example, we wanted to create some tone in this. Let's pick a note. And you kind of want to play around, see what note kind of works best with the sound. See, even here, very little standing out. So again, if you have to duplicate it, duplicate it. See how that note's really starting to stand out? Now let's add something like reverb. See how it's becoming more of a pad, and the original sound is kind of like almost a background texture to it. But now what we can do is we can throw this in sampler. But now let's say, for example, let's turn this into a pluck. That tone didn't really exist in the sound, and we kind of just almost pulled it out of thin air in a way, where as long as there was even just the tiniest bit of that frequency in the sound, if you crank it and crank it and crank it, it becomes obvious and isolated, and then you can use that in different contexts. You could throw it into Ableton's wavetable, for example. And it got a little bit of that tone in there. So there we go. That was a really quick video on how you can add tone into anything. So I hope you got something out of this video. My name's Kermode. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. And I'll be back soon with another one.